I'm here. I'm here. I'm late, but I'm here. Yo, to you, good sir. Right back at you, Michael Schotter again. Right back at you. Ugh. Yeah, pay attention, Mr. Frank. I'm obviously here. I mean, I'm 7 or 8 minutes late, but I'm here. A lot of traffic this morning coming home. A lot of traffic. It's raining out. Of course, my thing says 67 and sunny. It is. It is literally 75 and raining right now. There's me late. One might say. One might say. Two might even say it. Let's get crazy and say three might say it. Who can say? I think is the better terminology, as the young kids say. I had my breakfast with Amelia Island writers. This morning it went a little bit longer than it normally does. Once some people left, and the lady who I do not like left. Are you wearing the Slayer hat because you're so excited about the reunion? No, I am. I am not. And from all of the different things I'm reading, I'm not sure Kerry King is happy. Also, there's so many conflicting things about this, you know, which I think is great. It makes for something's up, Mr. Frank. So who knows? Who knows? If it's just these two dates, then it's just a money grab, and they're like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just play these two, headline these two shows, and then that'll be it. It sounds like everybody but Slayer knows about the Slayer reunion. Yeah, it's pretty much the guy who runs these two things are just like, yeah, but I got Slayer headline. Don't check it. Just trust me. They're playing. Kerry King's like, what are you talking about? I got a solo album coming out. Why would I do this now? And Tom Araya is just like, I'm just gonna stay quiet. Tom Araya just wants to sit at home and drink coffee and do nothing. Exactly. You know what? And I don't blame him. He's like, I'm getting old, and I got all this money, and I have my family to enjoy, and why do I want to do any of this anymore? Tom Arabs, Tom Araya, either guy is just like, why am I doing this? You know, what do I care? Fire Festival 2 featuring Slayer was supposed to get Skid Row vs. but I would go to see that. I would get on a plane to go to an island to have a ham and cheese sandwich and a bottle of warm water. Yeah, it's who knows what the real story is here. You know, is it Kerry King being Kerry King and just being like, yeah, we're doing this, but I don't want to talk about it because I'm doing my solo stuff, and I guess they're doing Rockville or something. We're doing Daytona, not too far. So who knows? Who can say? Tom would not get on a plane. See, he would not. He would not even go. If we bought Tom tickets, he would not. He would not go. I don't blame you, Tom. I'm not a big fan of flying either. What if you took a train? You took a train out to the islands, though. Then you would go. Yep, train to the Bahamas. The Bahama train, Bahamian train. I think they call it. Or that might be something about smoking weed out there. I don't know. Anyway, so there you go. So I was because it was a little chill in the air this morning when I left the house. I got up at 8 o'clock in the morning, which is ridiculous. I left at 8:30. Got out there at 9:30 to the coffee house. Had a cup of coffee. I even got a plain bagel with cream cheese because they apparently don't have cinnamon raisin bagel, and they give you a little tub of whipped cream cheese, and you have to put it on yourself, which is which is crazy. Tom says, I've actually flown a couple dozen times, but that was when there was no other option. Yeah. The Bahamian train is my big sex move. And that's why you have children, Mr. Frank, because of that move right there. And then we had some new people in today. We had 8 of us, 9 of us. And it was nice. Put it on yourself. What does that come? I know, right? Especially since the bagel was like, it's like a bagel and coffee was like almost $10. Yeah, I had to use a fork like a commoner. I mean, a fork, a knife like a commoner. Spread my own cream cheese on it. The Michael O'Connor. I don't know what we're saying there. Peter Marsh just jumps in and says Slayer. Welcome, Mr. Marsh. Mr. Marsh from the marshlands of Texas. No, sir, thank you. So then everybody at the table, all, most of them newbies, asked me about my writing career, how I got into it. I told them about the doing the movie stuff and all that. And then that same bitch that's there every month who has not written a book, but she ran a company of trade paperbacks for like technical stuff or something like that. Just always has to be an asshole. Always has to argue with me. And she really pissed me off today. And when she left, there was 2 other people that were still left, and I just said, man, I fucking hate her. Like, why does she have to be such a jealous bitch? And she's living in my head now. She might as well have said, why aren't you in the celebrity room? That's how much of an asshole she is. The Michael Wiley E. Coyote. Did anyone ask what Socks is about? No. There's Amanda Ward. Me and Amanda will be at the Amelia Island Book Fest tomorrow. So come hang out and join us. There's a big fire on Amelia Island today. And everybody was saying, oh my God, it's the school that we're going to be at tomorrow. But it wasn't the school, it was the house across the street from the school. And everybody was all excited. Socks 2, Master of Socks. Socks 2, Electric Boogaloo was the only real title. Well, pretty close. Yeah, pretty close. So I'm excited, and some people said they were going to show up. Who knows? So tomorrow, I'm hoping is a good day for us. I guess after I do this Twitch, I got to pack some books. Also hoping it stops raining, because I really have to go to the post office, and I really have to go to the library, which I might end up doing on Monday. I don't know. Did Michael Wiley move out of Florida? No, he's still in Florida. He's originally from Chicago, and his daughter is goes to college. One of his kids goes to college in like South Carolina or something. So he was up there looking for apartments for her for college. Stop! What the fuck is wrong with you? I was prepping some stuff. Might run up to the bank for change. Yeah, my wife dropped the truck off last night for me. And I said, can you get me some 5s? Can you get me like a couple $100 in 5s? Because I don't have any change. Get down. Let me stand next to your fire. Exactly. Stop! Fuck with the claws. Oh, that's what it was. I thought he was looking to move there. No, it's his daughter's going to college up there. No, he's got a good teaching gig, and he gets to write about stuff around here. So he's good. He's good, Tom. Don't worry. Calm it down. So I'm hoping tomorrow is a good is a good day. We sell some books. I think I'm only going to bring one crate, though. I don't think I'm going to overdo it. I think I'm going to bring one crate, and that's going to be it. And if I sell out, I sell. I'm going to bring 7 books. I'm going to sell out like somebody we know who always brags that, oh, I sold out of books. Oh, I had 3 books with me. So that will be that. Selling out would be a good problem. That'd be an excellent problem. It's funny, when I was looking at the table placements yesterday, I was looking at the list and I was like, oh, they're giving me a full table, so I don't have to share the table with anybody, which is good. Because every time I've done this Amelia Island Book Fest, I keep burping up that bagel and cream cheese. Every time you share a table with somebody, you get half a table. And again, every time, I'll say it again, every time I get some dud next to me that doesn't talk. She's on her phone. Her husband's there. They're old. They do the 40-minute elevator pitch about every one of their fucking books. And I'm just like, oh, I hate this. So I'm glad I have nobody I'm sharing a table with. My goal is to sit in the middle of the table and not talk to anybody around me. That would be great. Amanda also. At first I look at this, I'm like, why isn't Amanda on here? The hell happened? And then I realized, oh, she's using one of her she's using her romance pen name. So she'll be actually kind of close to me. I think she'll be behind me. Not behind me in the row, but the next row over. So that would be a good problem. What do you put on the table these days? I put books on the table, Mr. Frank. Thanks for asking. I don't do a lot anymore. You're not allowed to have stand-ups or banners behind you, but of course people are still going to bring them, and I'm sure some asshole behind me will have one, and even though there's not enough room for them, and I will make sure I knock it down several times. I put my table runner. See, now I can bring both table runners. I can put my horror table runner, the black and white with the skeleton drawing, and then I can put my blue and yellow one with the for the crime thriller stuff. And then I can set up, and I'm going to put the I'll probably bring one of my stands and put it in the middle, and then I'll put horror on one side and thriller on the other side, and see how many books I can sell. Sound out like the Bee Gees. I was going to type something, but then I remember this is going on YouTube. Yeah, don't. Shamanda Schward, yes, that is actually her. That's one of her many. Amanda has 37 pen names, but Shamanda Schward is one of them. So that's look for her. Yeah, it's close enough. Yeah, once I looked at the because I went back. I always like, all right, who's next to me and who's behind me, who's around me, and then let me go to the author page with everybody's picture and see who these people are. And then when I get all the way to the bottom, I saw you. I was like, oh, okay, that's Amanda. Okay, I get it. Do you change the thriller to horror ratio depending on the event? Yes. So if I was only going to half a table and I'd share with somebody, I would have only brought thriller books. The only horror book I would have brought is St. John's River Monster, because we're in, we're close enough to the St. John's River that I think I could sell a few copies of that. But now that I have a full table, I will bring some nonfiction books with me. But I'm not going to bring a ton of horror books. I won't bring any zombie books, I don't think. I'll probably bring 3 copies of everything until I fill a crate. Starting with the, what do you call it stuff? Hold on. The fucking cat. She brings her fucking toy in here and wraps it around all the fucking wiring and shit. I fucking hate this cat. So yeah, like at AuthorCon, I imagine me and Tom will have our Heist trilogy in the middle of the table because we're sharing a table, and then I will have all of my horror on the table, and then I'll have like a run of the thriller, my other thriller stuff at the back. But I won't really. I know there's people who want that stuff. I know like Lucille needs to fill in some books, so I'll kind of do that. But otherwise, no. Horror to the left of me, thrills to the right. Here I am stuck in the middle with you. Exactly. So I'm in the thriller section. There's no horror section. I'm in the thrillers section. As Frank says, nice. Peter says, 3 copies of everything. What percent of your books are horror books, do you think? I am about, if I just took 3 of everything from my back stock, it's probably going to be 60% horror books, 40% thrillers. Actually, it would be 50% horror books, 30% thrillers, 20% anthologies is what I have. So I'm thinking about bringing some anthologies that I'm in if I have room in the crate. I'm literally doing 1 crate. I don't want to do a ton of crates. What the F are you doing? I fucking hate this cat. What percent of your books reference to? That would be 100%. If you took 3 of everything, that would be like 600 books. Yeah, I'm not taking 3 of literally of everything. I'm just taking the books that I think will sell. And if it's mostly thrillers, it's mostly thrillers. I got no problem with that. I filled up a suitcase again, Amanda says. I knew you were going to say that. Now, I'm not going to bring, unless there's room, I don't think I'm going to bring the first 2 heist books, because I don't have the 3rd one, and I'd like to be able to sell that as a trilogy. Death and Cenote. No, that is no longer available, and I haven't had copies, or Zombie Tea Party. I haven't had copies of that in a long time. There's other things, like I have 1 copy of Stripper Noir left, but I don't know if I'm going to bring it or if I'm just going to hold it for AuthorCon. Death and Cenote is a short story collection I did. Zombie Tea Party, also a short story collection I did. I believe they might still be available. I don't think they are available. No, I think I got rid of them. That should be shipping any day now. Amazon takes forever. Well, even if it ships, I'll get that on Sunday night or Monday, because that's how things work. I figured I wasn't going to get it, but I'm fine with it, because then I'm going to still bring all my copies with me to AuthorCon, but you can sell them on the table, Tom, and then when hopefully we sell out of your copies, then I'll sell my copies. That will be good. Also, Frank and Tom, nobody else, Frank and Tom, you both have boxes that me and Shelly are shipping you probably Monday or Tuesday. Just so you know, so look for those. You're going to have some packages. That is the goal. The goal is to sell out of some things. Tomorrow, I don't think I will, but it would be nice. Be a nice goal. Hold on. Motherfucker with these cats. I think I'm gone all morning. What'd you guys do? Just fucking slept? Now you're up being an assholes? Also, that reminds me, I have to mail your Christmas presents. Seriously? Christmas presents? It's February 23rd. That's literally what we're mailing you. is your Christmas presents. Is Frank's box filled with cat poop? Let me just say this, Tom. One of your boxes is filled with cat poop. Yeah, we basically, Shelly's like, we got Frank's things here. And she got something else. She got something for you and she got something for Tom. And then she's like, we got to mail this. And we've just been sitting on them forever. And I'm like, all right. And actually the boxes are done. And I was going to go and go to the post office on my way home. And I had to go to the post office and the library. But then it started raining, and I knew I was gonna be late for Twitch. So I might, after I'm done here, I might run out and do that. But don't quote me on that. They'll probably just go out on Monday. They're paid for. It's literally showing up and putting the box on the counter at the post office and saying, "Have at it, kind sir." I did drive to Amelia today. If you had jumped in at the beginning, I did. I had coffee. That lady who pisses me off, argued with me, pissed me off again. Then she left, and then I bitched about her, but then I didn't get out of there. It was after 12 o'clock. Because the lady who does the, at the Amelia Island Market, at the Makama Market, who does the chocolates, the organic chocolates, this one is infused with lavender. That lady is also a wannabe writer, so she hung out. And she was feeding my ego and asking me a lot of questions and stuff. So, hung out and with her. You made good time. Remember, I drive slow. Yeah, it's from here to the coffee shop is about 45 minutes. So, if you get here at if you get here at like 8:15, I think we'll be good. I think we get there around 9:30, and then just we dump everything. You go park the car, and then we'll have a couple of kids help us. I'll bring in my shit. They'll bring in your shit, and we'll put. I know where your table is. If you see a postal delivery driver, they might be able to take it since it's paid already. Yeah, I don't trust this guy because this is when I ordered something for Christmas. When I ordered the blanket of the new cat, and it never arrived, and it said it was at the post office. Then the idiot driver that I had was like, "Yeah, I dropped that off." I'm like, "Where?" Because you didn't drop it off at my house. And I get packages all the time from him that are he shoves in the mailbox, and then like 2 days later I go out to get the mail. And I'm like, "This isn't mine." And then I'll have to stop him when he comes around and be like, "Yeah, this, I don't know, you keep dropping this. Like, this is not the house number. It's not the street. I don't know. You're just randomly putting mail in my box." So I don't trust him. And plus, to get out of the house, it'd be nice. Because then there's a Dunkin' right there. So I'll hit Dunkin'. I'll go to the library, drop off a book. And I got a book I got to pick up. Peruse the new releases. So yeah, listen, Amanda, I don't care if we get there at 9:45. It's literally going to take me 5 minutes to set up, and that'll be it. And we'll have coffee, so I'm not worried about getting there early to get some of their bad coffee. I'm sure we're getting Subway for lunch. I'm not anxious about time. It's not bad setup. Yeah, you know me. I am anxious, so. The later you are, the more anxious I will be. But I think we'll be fine. Tom says, finishing Children of Time's 600-page sci-fi book. That is ridiculous. I'm reading the second book of a Nordic noir series. But I don't remember the name of it. Anyway, I just started that on my Kindle. I started that last night. Peter March wants to know, who's the author of that? Tom Duffy, too. I'm going to be honest, I don't think I'm getting any writing in today. Just so you know. Adrian's stuff is always interesting. Ain't it just? I don't know who that is. But yes, I am looking forward to Adrian Tchaikovsky, the composer. Peter Marsh says, "Oh, I have heard of that guy." You know what, Peter? Adrian Tchaikovsky hasn't heard of you. Oh, sorry. So I got to throw that in there. Armand, where is your 600-pound sci-fi epic? You know where it is? Shoved up your ass. This is stupid. like a 5-year-old. My humor has not changed since I was 5. Here's what I know. 600-page book? No, thank you. Science fiction epic? No, thank you. When I was growing up, I read a ton of science fiction and a ton of fantasy. Ton. That was mostly what I read. Up your ass and to the left, exactly. Anything Dean Koontz, and then anything from Robert E. Howard. Then, of course, I read all of the big fantasy and science fiction books from the you know late 70s into the 80s. Things shoved up my ass. No, thank you. It sounds like you doth protest too much, Peter. Your wife has told us all the weird stuff you're into, so don't even try to act like. So yeah, so I've read a ton of that stuff, but I guess in my 20s, I started reading way more horror stuff, and I stopped reading. I just didn't find anything that was coming out, science fiction or fantasy, that I was interested in, and I did not want to start a new series. So one of the things that I read, probably the longest, was the Forgotten Realms books, the Dungeons and Dragons books. I was a huge Dungeons and Dragons player growing up. But then it got to the point where there was like 200 books in those and stuff. So I was like, yeah, this is just too much. So, but I can't remember the last fantasy or science fiction book I've read. It's been a long time. Every now and then I'll read, if I'm reading like an anthology, like a horror anthology or something like that, and they have a science fiction-ish horror story or a fantasy one. But those are usually my least favorite stories in the book. Drizzt Arden, exactly. I was a huge, huge fan of all of those books. Exactly, and like all of those characters. So yeah, that was those were big. Any of the Drow books, I still have. I have a box of like 150 different paperbacks that I think someday I'm going to end up selling, because I've read all of them. And what am I going to do with them now? And I want to get rid of all this shit. You know what? I'll figure out how many books they are, and maybe we'll work a deal. Because they are literally just taking up space in my garage. The problem is the shipping would be ridiculous. I can't even imagine how much it would cost to ship that book. I was big on the Foundation books. I kept wanting to reread them, but there's so many other books I haven't read. That's my thing. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, like, oh, I read this book I read this book every year, and I'm like, that's lame. Read a different book. There's billions of books. You're never going to read everything. It's kind of like people. My wife's friends, her and her husband watch way too much television. He'll watch anything. And he was like, "Oh, the new season of Reacher's coming out." Yeah, we rewatch the last seasons. I'm like, why? Like, there's a million other things to watch. Why are you rewatching it? They give you a freaking 2-minute recap in the beginning of the show, and you oh yeah, I remember that, and then you watch the next one. Why are you rewatching the same thing over and over? That's just stupid. The problem with Wheel of Time is that there are 3 books in the middle where literally nothing happens. yeah, I agree with that. Like, I was in the, I'm sure some of you will remember this, I was in the science fiction book club, where you would get 2 or 3 books every month in the mail. They would have the omnibus editions of like 3 different books. So it's like, oh, so they have like Elric. They have like the first 3 books, and then there's a second set of the books 4, 5, and 6. I would get that, and I would read all the Elric books, which I loved. And then they would have Conan the Barbarian, 3 or 4 books. So I would do a lot of those, like Dragon Riders of Pern and all of the Dungeons and Dragons tie-in books and stuff like that. And I had a ton of those. But I ended up giving a lot of those away when Chuck Buda and his wife was here. His wife loves reading fantasy books. And probably fantasizing about me, let's be honest. And so I gave her a bunch of those. Because I couldn't get into it, and I'm a big fantasy guy, and everyone says it is like the series. Tom says I was in the Columbia House Music Club where you get 12 cassettes for $1 and then never paid for it. I did that about, I don't know, 100 times. I got to the point where I was like, yeah, I own every one of these. And unless I get a second Huey Lewis in the News cassette here, I'm not sure why I'm even filling this damn thing out and taping a penny to the postcard. I don't know what we're doing here. Why are we doing this? Yeah, that was great. I was in the science fiction book club. They had some really good stuff in there, and my parents always encouraged me to read, especially my mom. So when I asked her if I could do that, she was like, "Yeah, no problem." So I read some cool stuff. And again, some of it I still had until I gave it away. Whatever, what I'm saying, whatever. Was your mom into horror? Still is. She's still a huge Stephen King fan, and she still reads a ton of horror books. So that's where I got into it. I got into it because my mom had at the time I didn't realize it was a Dean Koontz collection of paperbacks because it was all of his pen names, and she read any of Lee Nichols, whatever it was. She was buying them like crazy. And then she had a huge book. One wall was just a bookshelf in my parents' bedroom, and so I would read all those. But she had a lot of thriller stuff. She had a lot of other things, but horror is still her main thing. Although she's just like at 70 something years old, 72 maybe. She's like she doesn't understand the new stuff. She likes Stephen King, but anytime I give her a book, she's like, it was a little bit too much for me, kind of thing. So she's also, which is weird, she's into Amish mysteries. That's like her big thing. For Christmas, we bought her, some woman wrote like 20 Amish mysteries, and we bought a paperback collection of them. She likes those, which is really odd. I think I had the Sci-Fi Book Club for a while. I was also in the Book of the Month Club. Leave us, yeah, exactly. When we went to Lancaster, right, Pennsylvania, with the Amish people, we went to the bookstore there, and they were selling, and we found a bunch of the Amish mystery books, and we bought for her. She was very excited because it was an author she had never heard of before. So it's just really weird. Like she read Joe Hill because she figured out who his father was. I mean, look at him, you can figure that one out. But I've given her like other stuff, and she's just like, it's all right, but At the Ollie's by me, they have tins of Amish romance and mysteries, and I'm so tempted to read one. Yeah, that's where she that's where she gets a lot of them. She goes to Ollie's and buys them, or she just goes to the library and and she'll borrow them from there. She's not collecting books anymore because she's got so much shit in her house. So she reads them and then she gives them away, or she gives them back to the library for their book sales. Who raised a barn next to my barn? That's the mystery. That's the mystery. Somebody took some of the milk from one of my cows. What the hell's going on here? That's not the Puritan way of doing things. Who installed the electric telephone in the farm? Yeah. It rings at all hours of the night. It's very unbecoming. Was that you, Jebediah? Calling at this time of night? I went out and my freaking what do you call it was up on blocks. They stole my wooden wheels. So yeah, a lot of big mysteries out there. What I find intriguing is it's like just two different authors. I feel like I could maybe write in an undeserved genre. Yeah, wagon. Thank you. The name of that is a wagon. I couldn't think of wagon for a second. Yeah, there's literally in the mystery section of that Amish store there was like two authors. They had like the entire section. Now in romance, there are tons of Amish romance writers, tons. It was amazing going through there. And then the Amish splatterpunk people. I mean, ridiculous the amount that there are. There's none. There's the niche you want to get into if you don't want to sell books. Amish sci-fi is going to blow up any day. Any day now, Michael. You're going to see a ton of that. And you're going to see Netflix series made out of it. Mr. Frank, exploding Amish. Think about it. Jebediah Volpe, exactly. Good times. So I'm 35 minutes into this feed. I have not written a word. That's fine. That's fine. I like talking to you guys. This is much more pleasant than listening to that asshole lady this morning. I'm telling her about finding your lane, what I'm doing with crime thrillers now as opposed to writing horror, but I'm still, to the outside, it looks like I'm writing a ton of horror because I'm prolific and I put out a lot of books, but for me, I'm not writing a lot of horror anymore. And so for me, I'm just like, I'm trying to stay in this lane. And, people like me like they like my voice no matter what the genre is. And then that asshole lady starts arguing me about something because somebody said, "Oh, what do you write?" She's like, "Well, I don't write speculative fiction. I write literary fiction." Well, what's the difference? And she's explaining. I'm like, "Well, that's you're writing genre fiction." No, I'm not. Okay, whatever. And then she's like, "Well, I don't think you're using what your voice is. I don't think you're using that term right." And I said, "Oh, so then explain it to me and all those ignorant people." "Well, no, I'm not arguing with you." I said, "You are arguing. You always, every time." So the lady who runs the group, Andrew, is looking at me, shaking her head, and I'm just like, whatever. Somebody asked me a question about how I started in this business, and I'm telling you the story because, let's face it, I'm the only person at this table who's made any money doing this. And you don't even have a book out, and you're going to argue with me. So it's very annoying. I'm like, I'm not coming next month if she's going to be here. When is Shelly getting back? Sunday. She picks up her sister in the afternoon from the airport. Her sister is in D.C. at some political rally thing or something. I don't know. I don't care. So she's doing that. So she comes back Sunday. And then I said to Shelly, "Can you do me a favor, please? I'm not trying to be an ass. Can you drop your sister off and then just come home and not hang out there for another 2 or 3 hours? And I don't see you till Sunday night. I'd like to have dinner with you Sunday night. I think that would be pleasant." So, because she was home for all of 20 minutes last night, dropping off the car and picking up some clothes and stuff, giving me a big wad of fives for tomorrow. She's like, "Oh, I gave you the truck. You can drive Saturday if you want." I said, "No, Amanda's driving. Stop trying to get me to drive everywhere. I don't want to drive. Amanda's driving. Leave me alone." So, I do hate to drive. You know why? Because I just yell at everybody. I must have given 50 people the finger just from Amelia Island home. It's a 45-minute drive. I just hate people. People are just stupid. Just found a new reality show to torture me with UFO cowboys. I don't even know what that even means. I just know that the AT&T power outage yesterday was from solar flares because the aliens directed the solar flares from the sun at us. And this is just step one in the invasion. They're just testing it. They just wanted to see how long they could screw us up. I mean, before they really, really just wipe out all technology. So I'm looking forward to that. They're all wearing cowboy hats with big beards and look for UFOs. I want to know what show that is because I'd probably watch that and yell the whole time. I watched the new Expedition X with Chobot wearing those same pants. She wears those same pants. And I gotta believe, I would hope, that she has 5 or 6 or 30 different pairs of those pants. Or else she's just wearing the same pair of pants always. The only difference is in the show, in the episode. Spoiler alert. There's ghosts. Um, Phil, her partner there, not life partner, just partner on the show, gets up because he hears a weird noise, and he gets on the walkie-talkie and he says, "Jess, there's something going on in this pink room," and she kicks off her covers, and at first I thought she was wearing white stretchy pants, but it's black. It's just a lighting thing. But she's wearing black stretchy pants were not the pants she normally wears. I'm like, I think that's the first time, except the time they were on a boat and it was nice out and she was wearing a two-piece bikini. It's the only time I've ever seen her not in those same pants. UFO Cowboys. I'm excited because next week starts the the Bermuda Triangle show is over for this season. But now they're searching. Another team is searching for Nazi U-boats. So I'm interested in that. I have to believe Phil is getting on that. I don't know. Phil seems very too proper by the books, effeminate. So, and his wife is hot. If you've ever seen Phil's wife, she's pretty hot. But I'm sure they diddled around her or something. Something happened. Probably happened. Good times. It's another show. Oh, my wife's like, oh, Nazi U-boats? Do not hold those for me. Just watch the damn things. I do not want to watch another show about them finding or trying to find something. Because she was gone this week, I was like, hey, just so you know, I'm watching Curse of Oak Island without you. She's like, yeah, they're going to find 2 pieces of wood and a bent piece of metal. Spoiler alert, they found 2 pieces of wood and a bent piece of metal this week. So I'm not sure what's going on there. And the Hunting Bigfoot show is coming back, I think, in a couple weeks as well. So I like that one newer episode where they had a crew person walk through the woods and then pretend it was a mysterious figure. Yeah, there's Nick Zinn. Yeah, some of the setups are really cheesy, but I still watch it. I still watch it. I mean, I used to watch when Josh Gates was doing the Go shows. He was trying to do like his own tap show. I thought that was totally not real, but it's still entertaining because he's entertaining. And in Expedition X, Phil is the non-believer, yet he seems to believe within 15 minutes into the episode that there's something going on. There's something paranormal going on here, which I find amusing. Josh Gates is a funny person. Josh Gates is the kind of guy you can see hanging out, having a beer, talking about the Red Sox with. You know what I'm saying? He's that really nice Boston guy. As opposed to the piece of crap New Yorkers. Sorry. I'm from New Jersey, so I can say that. So I'm in about 45 minute here. I haven't written a word. Probably won't write today. So this will show up as a big fat 0. And you know what? I'm fine with that. Because I think when I get off here, it stopped raining right now. For now. It's still cloudy. I think I will go and run around and do my stuff. And that will be that. So I will my wife, originally we were going to maybe go to dinner, me, her, and her mom tonight. But then there's something that came up. So we might go tomorrow night, but I don't think we're going to because my wife and her mom are going to a birthday party for her cousin's kid. And I'm glad I'm not going. I like those people, but they have a giant dog that I freak out and I will not go over there anyway. So I'm glad I got this signing tomorrow. But then Amanda drops me off at 5 o'clock or something tomorrow, and then I'm on my own again. We found a new place yesterday with this seafood platter that has fresh made breaded baked clams. Oh, that sounds delightful. Delightful. Last night I made there was only a handful of barbecue honey boneless wings. So I made those and set the oven at 400. So I'm like, all right, what else can I throw in here at 400? And taquitos. So I threw in the last 10 taquitos. But then the taquitos end in 10 minutes and the barbecue ends in 19. So I ate all the taquitos and then I wasn't hungry for the 8 or 9 pieces of barbecue wings. So I eventually just threw them out. I got to make one of these meals tonight, though. I was on the way home from the, because I had that plain bagel with cream cheese that I had to spread myself like an animal. I was going to stop at Whataburger, but then I remembered when I ordered a plain burger from there last time, they put mustard on both pieces of bread, which pissed me off. So I'm protesting. I'm not going back to that one, and then that will eventually shut them down because they're not getting my money. Oh man, it says real problems. D26L. I don't know what that means. As usual, Mr. Frank. Being too full. You ate 10 taquitos. Yeah, I ate 10 taquitos in 9 minutes with Taco Bell mild sauce packets. 1 packet per 2 taquitos. Yeah. Yeah, I ate 10 taquitos in like 4 minutes. Like I had nothing but time at that point to wait for the boneless wings to finish. I'm a fan of taquitos. Her best friend's kid would Aiden would come over sometimes, and he would help. Like you do yard work and stuff for money. And I remember one time I was like, you could eat anything you want, but I'm not making you anything. You're like 14 years old or whatever. And he took a handful of taquitos and he put them in the microwave. And then he just ate them. And I'm like, that's disgusting. You're microwaving taquitos. He's like, no, it's on the box. You can microwave. I'm like, just because you put it on the box doesn't mean that it tastes good. They're all soggy and stuff. Like, why are you microwaving taquitos? What the hell is wrong with you? Got to do the Taco Bell Diablo sauce packet, even though it's not hot at all. It's way too hot for me. Their medium sauce is too hot for me. So it's got to be mild. And we have about, I don't know, 10,000 packets. Every now and then, like a medium heat or a hot one will get stuck in there, and I immediately have to throw that shit out. Who wants that? Who wants that crap? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I will not be on this weekend on Twitch. I probably won't be writing also. It's like I'm not writing now. I will be back on Monday, which will be good. And I will see you then. I think I'm gonna wrap this up now. Thank you for popping in. Again, I'm down a couple subscribers, so resubscribe, people, and also subscribe on the YouTube channel. Again, these things are free, so don't give me no crap about you don't like to spend money on me. You're helping me out. Exactly. All right, guys. I will see you. Thank you for hanging out with me.